Hey, young world, we are back here once again on Crate Diggers. My name is Verbz, and I'm here with
Steez.
And we've got one for you today that I know people have been waiting for, and one that we've been wanting to do for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
We had to get it out there. We're going to do one of these classic guys. We're going to hit that Madvillain button.
Yes,
We're
sir.
doing Money Folder with America's Most Blunted today on Crate Diggers. Let's go.
Crate Diggers.
All right, we are back, and I'm a little bit parched. I didn't even take a sip before we got started, so we're gonna do one of those cracks. Let's crack it on cam.
Come on.
We got Portland water. Oh, refreshing.
Ooh.
All right, a little sparkling water to get us hydrated out here.
Verbz.
Grab yourself a still water. That's Drink PDX Water on Instagram.
Yes,
and
sir.
thank you guys very much for keeping us hydrated on Crate Diggers.
Appreciate y'all.
And if you're not already, subscribe, like, join us on this journey as we go through all these records that we own. We've got stacks about 5,000 or so we're going to take our time and go through these.
That's right.
We're only on episode, 35, something like that.
Yep.
So, yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. Leave a comment. Tell us what you guys want to hear on the podcast. We really want to know, the type of music that you guys want to hear, the type of records we want to play and react to. We're always going to bring those, but we definitely want to hear what people who are listening want to check out.
That's right. We've really enjoyed, this whole year of putting out episodes and having a lot of feedback and discussions with the community and people who comment on any social media. And it's just super fulfilling once you put that out there and then people respond to you. The type of things that come up and the type of conversations you have with people just because, even segments of your episode come out. So it really helps when everybody likes, subscribes, and shares. And man, so far so good. We appreciate our community a lot. And keep tuning in. We have a lot more episodes for you.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us over 2025. It's been really great to be able to do something like this as an outlet to join in a music community and have conversations we are already having about music anyway, but also break out some of the records that are sitting on our shelves that we really want to play through again and hear it with new, fresh ears and new takes.
And when we started the podcast, we wanted the interviews of playing vinyl with anybody as an interview, like a jump off point, like we used to say. That used to be the main reason we did the show, and now it's kind of our outlet to share the music and share the different things that we've loved and grown up loving, and now having a community like feedback and say what they love and share what their favorites are. And we've already had some great interactions, and this is probably one of the main things about today's episode is this is like an all-time favorite artist of ours that we want to play today. So hyped to get into it, bro.
It was one of those ones where we were talking about like which button would you press to maybe like activate some people and
to talk about hip hop and records. And
I think MF Doom is one of those buttons you can press because people have a lot of feeling about MF Doom. They love the music. They also, I think because of so much of what he did is mysterious.
That's right.
There's all these stories and he has a history with KMD and all of this other stuff. So MF Doom always lends towards some kind of like mysterious nature. And I think that's always fun to dive into. Also, like
as a person and as a character too.
Exactly. And the lyrics themselves are somewhat free form and free association, but also so intricately crafted. And he's talking about himself in multiple characters.
They're poetic. Yeah. They're funny. A lot of times I have like a lot of the things that Jay Dilla used to brag about and the ways he did super creatively, and even describing how dope he was through a billion metaphors through his rhymes or his beats. That was something he loved, being super braggadocious about which I feel like is such a cool thing for a rapper to have so much confidence in their beats and their rhymes. Like he's attacking bars and saying things like to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, saying those type of things that a lot of New York rappers do, and doing it in this cartoon, playfully, like mythical kind of performance, and like crafting albums that way. And same thing with him and Madlib crafting like an all-time great album. It's just like, I could go for days about MF Doom. He's my single favorite artist in hip hop, and it's just like it is what it is at this point. Listening to so much music for so many years, especially in hip hop, you never stop listening to a Madvillainy album, and you never stop going through his discography and his beats, and I could talk about it for days. That's why he's up right here next to us, when we do episodes. So
the villains in the building.
R.I.P. MF Doom, one of the greatest of all time. I just had to say that before we get into it,
So this is this interesting collab that happens with Madlib and MF Doom. MF Doom starts out early on with a group called KMD.
That's right.
With Sub Rock. And after Sub Rock passes away and their albums kind of get like almost blacklisted or benched or whatever, he, escapes away and kind of formulates into this new character. He was Zev Love
right?
X.
Right.
Daniel Dumiles, the government, on the grave. But Zev Love X is the character or the persona, his OG rap name. That's or
right.
whatever.
That's right.
And then he becomes MF Doom, and then he starts crafting all these other characters. You got right. Victor Vaughn.
King Ghidorah.
Yeah, King Ghidorah. You have all these incredible, I love
mythical tales.
I love it.
And he connects to all these cool properties like, Godzilla and Marvel, and he doesn't ever take the side of the hero.
No, it's fun.
He's the illest villain.
Yeah. It's and the choice to have the mask, and there are all these legends out there of shows where he doesn't show up at all, and he's sending out his clones and
clone
shit.
Doom.
Like Dr.
think about
Doom
that.
would do.
Like, is there a clone ASAP Rocky? Is there a clone? You don't have clones of anything.
No,
you don't do that. There's no clone chaperone.
There's a clone Bieber out there somewhere.
There's got to be. We've seen clone Drake. I literally saw it on my time. I was going to make a joke about that today. He's always doing the hands. Rap hands.
And then you have an incredible producer with Madlib who had already had some success doing this thing where he essentially declared, I want to work with MF Doom and I want to work with J Dilla. Right. So he does J-Lib that has these incredible beats on it that
timeless beats.
I think really were an important moment in Portland's, or me coming up as a DJ and listening to music and the type of stuff I cared about and the artists I cared about. So I'd say there was a pretty, interesting moment there coming out of the J Dilla stuff. And then finding Madvillain with this kind of the intricacy that's in there, and then the cartoon aspect to it. I think they really found something that people in hip hop have always loved is, if you can go to Kung Fu like Wu-Tang did, or, or going into comic books like MF Doom does. I think they tap into these worlds that were peripherally hip hop, but not necessarily we all agreed that these are part of what the culture is, but somehow those things snuck into the culture on the outside and influenced what it was.
Well, it was so rare that Wu-Tang was doing what it was doing, So when he does what he does with a lot of sincerity, but so much humor and so many spins on it, he's doing comics. He has like I was talking about earlier before the episode. There's a episode of a 50s TV show that he samples the intro of Madlib samples the intro of in this album, and that doesn't come from anything that people in hip hop have touched. So the originality and the way they were just coming up with this stuff on the fly, and also with no hooks, it just he really represents a different space completely. And I'm gonna be honest, when I first heard MF Doom and a lot of his albums and a lot of different things, it was hard to get into. It's hard to break through the slang and the references and understand what's going on throughout an album, or even, you know, where he's coming from lyrically, because he's a different type of artist that's not attacking the flow crazy, and he's not saying edgy things. There's kind of this different lane he was in himself, and it was hard for me to crack in. But once I found the ones like Food, Doomsday, Madvillainy, once I found the vein of stuff I did understand, the rest of it now made sense to me.
I remember you had a King Ghidra that somebody burned for you
DJ
early
Getcho.
on.
From DJ Getcho.
Shout out DJ React. We've talked to you about you several times on the show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I feel like those were early on things that, like, it took digging into the whole album. You know, like, you had to explore music in a different way with these, because you're used to, like, grabbing one song. You're like, oh, I like this song. I like that song. And this one, you kind of had to, like, go through the whole album as a piece and, like, what is he referencing? Who is he talking about now? Is he talking about himself as a different character on this track? Like, tracking it all down. And also, it rewards so many listens that, like, as you go through your life, you end up tapping into more and more of the references and seeing where those things are. And, like, oh, that's what that name was that's been in this song that I didn't know why they were dropping that name.
That's why when I went through the track list before we even started, it's just like front to back, it's such an accomplishment, this thing that was put together on some SP303 with I just saw the picture. We might have to even put it in, a picture of a toy turntable connected to a computer and some SP303 and the headphones. And I'm sure it's just Doom over smoking weed, has his microphone, and as soon as the beat's done, it's given to Doom, and he writes the lyrics in the room, and it's done. That's just spur of the moment, beautiful tracks. And if you made some hip hop or made music, you know those spur of the moment tracks that come up in 15 to 20 minutes. It's the best shit you've done, and you don't even know how it just magically happened, and that's how you get your best work. And
it's also a true collaboration, right? So the history of it is that Doom is hiding out in Georgia and has a friend who, you know, is connected somehow to Stone's Throw. Okay. Stone's Throw throws these Madlib beats at him, and he's like, fuck yeah, this is dope. And they negotiate some nonsense, and he flies out to LA, or I think it's LA, where they start working on the project. And really they just needed to connect it as artists to get going on it. But then they end up going to Brazil, and, you know, like, they're sampling all these Brazilian tracks. And, like, if you're digging into the samples here, they're deep. This is, Crate Diggers love this shit because it's deep with samples. Some of these songs have 10, 12 samples on it of, like, just one or two lines or a song, you know, intro sound or whatever. And so, like, they're grabbing all of these things. I think this is why hip hop folk really love it, is it's really that true essence of the craft all coming together in unique ways and trying new things. And, you know, he's sampling Indian music all over the place, and that's not usually happening in hip hop. And then he's got these Brazilian samples like we talk about, and then TV shows, like the TV shows or old, you know, 1930s movies,
comics, Marvel comics, things like that,
Roger
cartoons.
Corman shit. You know, I mean, it's I'll actually, you know, we'll talk about it once we get to America's Most Wanted. I got one of the samples here. We'll talk about. We'll play it because we're out here crate digging. So
the last thing I want to say before we jump into a song, but, like, you can go through so much hip hop, and there's certain samples you can hear. You can hear the loops, like some Tribe Called Quest samples, some things like that. You could envision yourself, like, taking that loop and putting some drums on it. Maybe something sounds similar to a Tribe Called Quest. There's something about this album where no matter the layers of samples that I hear, or the way it's mixed, or the way they rap, or whatever they do, it doesn't seem achievable to me to find the 10 samples that go into the one song and then the 15 that go into the next song and then the 18 that go into the next song, because they're literally taking 1 second vocal chops and putting them together. This is not something I feel is a repeatable album that you could do as just a person. Because I feel like you could make hip-hop albums as a producer. I don't think you could make this again.
So Madlib is even, like part of putting stuff together. Madlib's like, oh, I forgot what I sampled on that shit.
What?
So
how could you
like,
know? How could you know if you did 16 vocal chops in a song? Then you got to list all those. It runs way past talent.
I love how all of these pieces come together and create something, and it's about their influences and then what they're being influenced by in the moment. Right. And it's like you have all of these, I don't know, pieces coming together in such a beautiful way on this one, and you have the iconic imagery of it. Let's go back over this cover here. We haven't really even taken a look at it, but all right. So we got
nice
front. Got Doom with the mic, money folder, America's Most Blunted.
No graphics, just like regular shit they have. So
simple, yeah. I mean, he's wearing like a t-shirt, his sleeves rolled up on one side. They didn't even take 2 pictures, you know what I mean?
Look at that.
And then you got Madlib smelling the weed, got a napkin in his hand, probably where the weed was. Wouldn't you imagine?
Fire. This hoodie's fire.
It is it's clean. It's very clean.
Madlib's the shit.
So yeah, this is 2003, coming from Stone's Throw Records. These singles are harder to come by. You can find the they've repressed the album a bazillion times. And you got the instrumentals, and then you got the remixes and all that. What's cool about this one is it does have a remix on it. So if you've never heard the remix, we got something special for you.
Let's get
the first song on this side here, we're going to play is called Money Folder. Do you have anything to say about Money Folder before we go into it?
There's several songs throughout Madvillain that he's attacking, like lyrically and being more braggadocious. This is that type of delivery, like Money Folder. He's like intentionally attacking the bars a little bit more than his laid back flow, like he does on like Rhinestone Cowboy, things like that. It's just some of the best bars on the album are on, I feel like, all caps, Money Folder, Meat Grinder.
So this is this era where things got leaked all the time and some stuff got leaked.
Yeah.
And apparently they reapproached the album again after the leak, and he comes with a little bit more laid back flow instead of his more attack flow. Right. That, if you listen to the older KMD, he's a little bit more higher pitch and a little bit more attacking. Obviously, it's a more old school flow. He evolves into this like free flowing jumble word association, words for just the like rhythm and sound of them, and like subtract meaning and add meaning, and it's so much fun to just listen to it as he's like you're saying, the drunken master style, where it's like the rhyme finishes on the second bar, or he'll just
completely distract you and think you're setting up a bar, and then he says something else.
It's an album that was influenced by mushrooms and marijuana, and sometimes you can probably feel that in here. So anyway, Madvillain, we're gonna do it for you guys on Crate Diggers. We got Money Folder is the first song. We'll go into it. We got the vocal version here. We also have the remix version, and we'll get into America's Most Blunted. We also got some instrumentals. So let's hear it. Let's go.
MF Doom and Madlib. Oh my god, I'm so hyped.
I thought that was queued up better.
Took on many forms.
Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. After you whose last is doom, he's the worst known. That'll have your boom blown or either thirst bone. Rockets won't burst, clone just
already attacking it.
On his own microphone, bring it everywhere he go. So he can bring it to you live in stereo.
Playing with words already.
Can't understand it, ban it. The underhanded ran it, planned it, and left him stranded. The best, any who profess will be remanded. Yes,
another thing already is just the drums mixing with the samples so perfect. It's like they're the same track. And there we go with the Blue Note Madlib.
Already flipping it to something else. Yeah, exactly.
Because Madlib, I think he's technically a jazz Blue original artist too, as well.
And you also have this like.
I wrote this rhyme lightly over 2 or 3 heinies, and boy was they fine G. One black, one Spanish, one Chinese. It keeps the woody shiny.
He's also doing this without the hooks on everything. You know, like he's doing the old school shit where you just finish a bar to finish a verse, and that's kind of like.
And the skit fills in, and the beat fills in. It is so sick with it.
Now hook me with 2 apple pies and a small fries. All rise. So far art as a
leaving words like fries in that don't fit. I love it.
It's crucial. You can see it in his pupil. And this time when he get it, he'll waste it on something useful. Like getting juiced off a deuce.
We already have a new part of the beat.
Keep it low key, known to pull a okie dokie. Silly goose, Doom is too jokey. Damn, he could really use a room
or a whole key. Come on, man.
All right, so we haven't even made it halfway through this shit. He's attacking it. We've already got a little bridge. We've got 2 aggressive verses where he's playing with like rhyme couplets that you don't normally hear in rap, and like doing 1-bar rhymes or multisyllabic. I mean, it's all over the place.
He goes in and he is braggadocious, and then he'll finish a bar with. Hook me up with 2 apple pies and a small fries. He's not ever giving you exactly what you want, but he's definitely leaving you like interested where it's going. Like I feel like there's a bar where he's like, the one thing this party could use is more booze, and he doesn't give you the bar you want. But it's like an amazing effect that like. You know what? And this is probably the one thing early on where I was like, he's taking me out of it, because it's like every time you hit a bar, you're so unserious. That's the whole point of it. And like, I guess listening to a lot of like Detroit and New York hip hop convinced me you have to be serious at the end of that bar, or else there's no sincerity in the song. And because he's so playful with it, you put it in a different genre of rap. And when you listen back to it, it's actually pretty aggressive. He's actually killing these bars quite a bit. And I think it was like there was a few rappers who talk about there's some of his bars that he actually does that you can't really vocally repeat them yourself. Like he couldn't even see. I think it was Sean P said that there's an actual a verse that he can't do that Doom can do, and that's when he was like, well, shit, if he's that talented, then he is as good as any other rapper. If there's stuff he could physically not get out of, like repeating a Doom verse. And man, already halfway through the song, like 20 bars, memorable bars.
All right, we're back into it. Money folder, let's go.
Rats got enough styles to start 3 fads. True that, she bad, I wonder do she come with knee pads? What a call, what a real butterball. Either I get a strike or strike out.
Gutter ball.
Rockin' like gear for the 4 with nice inside pockets prepared for the brawl. Yeah, y'all, you could say it's an earful. Beware, do not touch mic, be careful.
Ooh, I always love that bar.
Said I could have told you. MF, the holder of a boulder, money folder.
It ain't fun. It's like, it's still like, there's like mob deep bars on this New York track.
Well,
and then he's also being super funny
to it, and these off-kilter drums and like,
it came to me one day when I was like looking up what's the highest rated hip hop album, and I went in. It's never been not a consensus that this is a 10 on everything, and it always has been, even since it dropped. People didn't need it to age for that to just be like, this is fucking genius.
Well, I looked at it today and I saw that Rolling Stone gave it like 3.5 stars, but almost everything else gave it like 4 to 5.
Hip hop gives it, you know.
Well, shout out former Crate Diggers guest, my friend Andy Labar. Andy Labar was up on it. He always was up on everything of this era, and I remember he would put these end of the year list together of his favorite albums, and I remember Madvillain was up there, and I was like, okay, this has got to be at least checked in on and see what this, you know, like, wasn't my type of hip hop at the moment, and then I was like, oh no, I do need this.
Yeah.
All right, so there's
nothing
this
better
long
than talk over than
here.
this
I
shit.
know, this is great. All right.
It's got the SP303 sound too. It's like really warm and big. It's like it doesn't have a lot of bass, but like the sound and the like everything coming through it sounds so big. The sample's bigger, the drums are bigger, just because they're using this sick drum machine to put everything together, and sampler.
Did I look up how much those cost today when I saw it.
Dude, I hear every time they fucking put them on a TikTok reel. I'm like, I want that.
You know, might as well just have it in the arsenal. Just sit and like,
Come on.
it rides out. We got a little like vocal sample at the end of it, or is it just rides out?
This is a good
Can't really
question,
remember.
man.
It's been a while since I listened to it. This version. There we
There you
go.
go, man.
Healthy cash flow.
Healthy cash flow.
Ooh.
They can make it say whatever they want.
All right, I love listening to Money Folder again, just getting a little taste of, you know, a Madvillain thing, throwing myself back into it. I mean, I've listened to the album mostly as a completion, as in its entirety, you know, so
Best way to
picking
consume
out
it.
the individual tracks here has always been, you know, an interesting task, because you're like, oh, which ones make this cut? One of my favorite sets I ever did in my life, I think it was at Dig a Pony, which then became Lollipop Shop, R.I.P. Lollipop Shop. And I did a set where I took all these Jay-Z records and all these MF Doom records and then played them back to back with the samples and somehow made it like cohesive into
you had like a whole set where you did that a couple
it was,
times.
yeah, and it was like, you know, down to 17 seconds of this song, and it was all vinyl, and I was, you know, it was fun to do, but it was a challenge to do. But I remember getting to this next track that we'll play. Well, actually, you know what? We'll go into the remix before we go into it. But America's Most Blunted was one of my favorite things I got to play.
Oh, word.
But let's hear what this remix sounds like. Let's see what is there any info about it specifically? No, Money Folder remix. There you go.
That's just what they did.
Let's hear it. I mean, they had apparently
Two
like
producers.
You know, dozens and dozens and dozens of beats and dozens of songs and shit. So not surprised.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
That's like a Dilla chop.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it sounds more like the champion sound.
But Madlib and Dilla, like, that's the same sampling range right there. They love the same shit.
That he who is without sin cast
Oh
the
my
first stone.
goodness.
After you whose last is doom, he's the worst known. That I have your boom blown or either thirst bone. Rockets won't burst clone, just don't curse the groan. On his own
I
microphone, bring it up
think he
fuego.
re-recorded
So
the
he can bring
verse.
it to you live in stereo.
No, it's gotta be.
You
think so?
Yeah.
The underhanded ran it, planned it, and left him stranded. The best, any who profess will be remanded. Yes, sir. Request permission to be candid. Granted.
Oh my
I don't
God,
think we
it's
can
so
handle
well
a
done.
style so rancid. He flipped it like Madden and did the old jazz standard.
Let's see what he does.
Don't mind me.
Nope.
I wrote this rhyme
He
like
didn't add the-
this
he
for
didn't add the
3 Heinies. And boy,
jazz
was they
sample.
fine, G. One black, one Spanish, one Chinese. It keeps the woody shiny year round like a pine
Oh my
tree.
God.
Don't sign me, I'm about to get a mill.
Almost seems like he could have just had it all as one verse.
Yeah.
And now it's been broken up, actually.
Yeah, because of the way he chopped the beat.
What a sight for old soul,
Four eyes.
Now hook me with 2 apple pies and a small fries. All rise. So far odd as a ruple. So raw, break it down and make quadruple.
Yeah, I love that. It reminds me of like, I think it's like Money by Jay Dilla or Madlib and Jay Dilla. There's a song called like Money. I can't remember exactly the title, but it has that same kind of like 80s gritty, yeah, like syncopated thing.
It
There's
does
so
sound a
much
little bit
swing.
more of that era than, I mean, obviously Money Folder, the original version fits the whole feel of the album better, but like
he's so good at making the sample sound more like Doom. This is like straight up like Madlib, Jay Dilla, Slum Village.
yeah.
That
It
sound.
does feel, and it feels like a remix. I mean,
Yeah.
it has that feel to it.
Still
All right.
dirty though.
So we'll get into this next one here. And
come
the thing I've always loved about this one here, obviously the intro to this track is incredible, where he's
We
like,
used to scratch it all the
open
time.
the blues up, come out to show them, all that. Like, I've always loved that part. And then they break into these samples from a record I got right down here. So I haven't even talked about it yet, but all right. So we'll pull out the sample here. This is called A Child's Garden of Grass, a pre-legalization comedy. My copy is all tagged up.
That's right.
From the Jet Life crew. So I did a show with Currency, and he had already signed like 3 or 4 of my
insane.
record, because I've done a bunch of shows with Currency. So I was like, you know what? Why not have the entire Jet Life crew sign this shit? So we got
Shout
like,
out Spitta.
Shout out Spitta, man. Shout out my brother Spitta, man.
Oh my God, we love him.
Young Roddy did it. It says hashtag JetLife Spitta over here.
This is
JetLife TY. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of people sign this one. It was a fun ass show. We were all smoking backstage. So after we play the America's Most Blunted, we'll go into some of the samples here. You know, we'll do a real crate digger ass show. So this one of my favorites from the album, Madvillain, MF Doom, Madlib, America's Most Blunted. Come out to show them.
It's like some Madvillain meets like Redman, Method Man.
Oh, and it's got that Fever Tree sample that it has such a great bang, 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 bang. The guitars are really go. Great bass.
That distorted bass.
Listening to music while stoned is a whole new world.
So this all is coming from this record I just showed you guys.
Grass will change your music. What happens for the better?
America's most blunted. As soon as you start sleeping, catching you off guard. We rhythm now, huh?
Now here's all these other samples.
There's Redman.
See, and then you could talk about both of them as characters, you know, like amazing.
Some rather baggies, other like their cracks and vows. Catch a tag, roll a bag of swag in the back and mouth. You twist optimal, just the raw leaf part. The list top go, bust before beef start. At the stop and go mart, acting like a spirit host done it. Doom nominated for the best role L's.
It's funny how there's so much going on, but it's still like their most traditional hip hop song on here.
Some say voted, some say faded.
Like, see how all the bars like fit?
Not so darn harmful. I've always loved that.
Show 'em, man. Back then, saying that back then, that's great.
To your surprise, turn a Newport light to a joint right before your eyes. Tear a page out the good book, hear it how you want it.
America's Most Blunted. Now it's harkening back. Here, let's stop it right there. So it's harkening back to
Crazy.
Redman with How to Roll a Blunt, right? So essentially talking about all this language around how to roll a blunt. He's talking about all these different versions of how you could roll it, or what it's called, what we're talking about here. I love connecting into this because this is before an era of Wiz Khalifa and all these other rappers who were just like very openly discussing cannabis use. I mean, obviously you have like Dr. Dre and Snoop and shit, but even those would just be like the hook or something like that. It wasn't
and
like
it's only a few artists.
Yeah,
compared to the mainstream.
Very true. Versus everybody now having it in their music. So I've always enjoyed somebody who's like, let's get into the technicalities of the cannabis world.
Not the raw leaf part. Like he's like teaching you all the different things you need to do correctly, which is nice to be right about the weed culture. Yeah. And not just like using it to get a couple dollars.
Like a 90s movie where they accidentally smoke something and whoa. Yeah.
Freaking
they
trip
start
out,
seeing
man.
dogs chasing them, or like bunny
Cats
rabbits
talking?
or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Cats talking. That's what it was. All right, let's do it.
It just keeps proving my point that how many fucking samples can you find? Like, this is some DJ Premier level digging for drops. Oh, we got Quasimodo on the track. There's Madlib's character. I mean, I wasn't supposed to say that.
Willie knows how the Phillies roll, really though. Last go.
I sparked the lot.
But don't fuck with speed, the trees will see. Quasimodo crew.
We get killed.
I just love how like connective and interactive it's like boys in the studio.
Even your pops got smacked.
Even the
But
pops got
you can't even
smacked.
tell how many people are going involved on this track. It's
true.
You drop X, you can
Yeah,
have
the
this.
sex.
I love how like Madlib just straight up has a great rap voice, but he always wants to throw claws on it. He never does rap by himself. Man, he can drop some great sounding bars.
His voice on this shit too. It's just like they really went out of their way to make it something new and like make their own characters and their own mythology. Now,
It's just non-stop with that sample.
see,
Oh, here we go.
Creativity. It's a known fact that grass increases creativity from 8 to 11 times.
I love the specific
Everyone finds that
statistic.
they're more creative stoned than
That's straight.
So remember,
M-A-R-I-J-U A-J-U-A-N-A
We used to
The
love
H.
scratching this on the turntables.
Juana Marijuana.
Juana.
You can see why they chose everything they did. It's so intentional.
Oh, incredible. And it even finishes with a record fade out.
That's nuts.
Man, I love some America's Most Blunted, man.
That's
It's such
crazy.
a fun song.
Money Folder and America's Most Blunted. Just
So-
crazy tracks.
I'm gonna pull out the sample here. This is a Child's Garden of Grass, a pre-legalization comedy on Elektra Records. Produced and directed by Ron Jacobs. We have a bunch of stuff on here. They talk about physical and intellectual games and making love, listening to music, eating food, meditation, the history of marijuana. But the track that is most vividly sampled here, I think, is probably track 3, which is called Creativity. So let's
yeah.
let's listen to that one.
Oh, yeah.
How's this drop looking, Steez? Oh, I don't know. We've got new angles every time I'm in here, so we're seeing if I can
solid,
get it
champ.
right on this time.
Come on, champ.
it's a known fact that grass
go.
increases creativity from 8 to 11 times. In fact, everyone finds that they're more creative stoned than straight.
All of us are latent Michelangelos, or Carusos, or Da Vinci's, and think we can paint, or sing, or write, if only we tried hard enough.
It's such a strange little bit, but that's it. They found their
Is it
little
mostly
sample.
like anti-weed or is it joking about weed?
It's all joking about weed.
Yeah.
It's all positive stuff.
That's awesome.
I mean, for the most part. Let's
8
see.
to 11 times just takes me out, man.
Yeah, let's.
So good.
What is another one on here? Let's go to listening to music. That's song 3. There we go. Song is a interesting one.
Loose term. You know, you could have found any drop.
There we go.
Here we go.
Listening to music while stoned is a whole new world.
Hey, YouTube,
Hence considered
how do you feel about
some
listening to music while
psychological
stoned?
And grass will change your musical habits for the better.
How many
Even
times
when you
better
listen
is it?
later, when you're
4,
not stoned.
8, 11?
Scale it up.
Show me.
All right,
That's
so could you
amazing.
take that sample
That's
and make America's Most Blunted? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. But then you got to find the actual sample for the beat.
So you got you
Right.
go and grab Fever Tree,
Right.
get that going, and then you just grab about 25 more samples, and you're about
And then you
halfway
get,
there.
And then you get Doom high as shit. And you get Quaz on the mic, rare. And you get 2 verses out of it. I don't know how you piece it all together like that, though.
Let's listen to a little bit of this instrumental before we get out of here, because you know what? This one is the extra long episode
Dude,
you've all been
it's
waiting
Doom.
for. Let's get into America's Most Blunted, the instrumental. Let's just hear what it sounds like, guys.
The only bass I can remember like that is like Jay-Z's Takeover. And I think that has like a door sample or something like that.
Now, off the top of my head, I'm terrible with those.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but it's got that distorted bass and it's only like a few notes. And it just sounds like it never stops repeating.
It's so simple. It's such a great little like bed to rock over there.
It's almost like it's like turning around. Really, it's not even like it's really doing a groove. It's like the end of the groove. It's like the end. I don't know. It's an insane way to sample something. I'll say that for sure.
All right, world, tell us how you feel all about Madvillain, all about Money Folder, America's Most Blunted. Do you like this remix? Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm so excited to be able to play stuff like this. This is a button I couldn't wait to press. We were waiting for the right opportunity. We'll finish out the year with some some Madvillain.
This is the start of the new year.
You know what? We'll begin the new year with it too.
Exactly.
We'll end it for us and begin it for you.
Exactly.
That's how it goes. Hey, it's a beautiful time to be able to share this all with you guys. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.
Oh yeah, I want to say too, we're such a huge fan of the comic side of everything. We love comic books. We love that type of lore, and these kind of projects really led us to make what we made up a long time ago. This concept that we wanted to do for some type of branding and some type of things that we could. My brother throws events under this tag, and I've made a short story about it before. We'd have all types of different images. It's at the very end of the episode every time you see the spaceship fly off, and we made up this thing called the Space Gods, and it's because of people like Madlib and MF Doom existing and giving us this different angle on the music that we love. And being a part of it with our own kind of creative angle is the Space Gods. And, I forever am thankful for this type of group existing, because it just let our creative outlet go that way. And it's been a part of our lore, our branding and stuff like that for years. So, shout out Madlib and Doom.
Shout out. Watch out for those space weapons from these Space Gods over here. We've been the Space Gods for a minute.
For a while now.
Man. It's one of those avenues that we got to open up because of artists like this. So very thankful that we've had influences from all these different types of artists, from the street, whoever, and the preacher types to somebody who's doing the weirdo in their bedroom making the coolest, funniest, funkiest shit you've ever heard. So anyway, thank you guys for checking us out and tuning in. Thank you to Steez for rocking with me. And thank you to the intrepid producer Jimmy for shooting, editing, hosting us, the lights, everything. Jimmy does it all. Amazing. Set up. It's all because of Jimmy. So thank you to Jimmy for everything you do. And thank you once again to Portland Water for keeping us hydrated.
That's right.
And thank you to the world for tuning in. We'll see you guys. Oh, shit. You know what we didn't do, Steez? We can't.
Probability.
He almost got out the door without talking about probability.
That's right.
Oh, Christ.
Can't do that.
Slow down. Run it back.
Well, we can do quick ones.
Here we go.
We can do quick ones.
Money Folder, bopability. How's it go?
That's super high.
Money Folder is coming at you.
Amazing replayability. That's one of the classic samples that when I hear it, that dum, do-do-dum, that whole sample breakdown that keeps happening. It's insane. And then the drums, I used to scratch over those drums as practice. It's just a perfect locked in set of break drums that sound like they're a part of the sample. It's just so musical. Insane. Again, I could go in forever. And then America's Most Blunted, even more so with the two verses. Those two verses are funny and awesome. And the sample cut in Premiere style. Insane. You could never make that track again. And just again, two perfect tracks for a single. What an insane fucking single. Glad we own that one.
Yes. I can't deny anything my man Steez said over here. It is absolutely correct. Money Folder has this aggressive nature to it. It's kind of fun though still. It's bouncing. America's Most Blunted is one of my personal faves. I could listen to that any day of the week. Sheesh. It is a all-time classic weed song for me. And I'd say bopability high.
Yeah, we might have to do this whole album someday.
Someday.
It's perfect.
Hey, if you want us to do it, you tell us, and we may listen. And we didn't do one more thing before we get out of here. So we have to pick the next episode. So tune in next time because we are going to avoid one of the lost episodes on our agenda. It's been since the very earliest days of the show. We promised this one and then had some technical difficulties and then it disappeared. Couldn't find it.
Into the ether.
But now it's back, baby. We are going to bring back Scarface, Ghetto Boys, The Crow, Bushwick. It's going to be a good one.
Classic.
We got My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Ghetto Boys next episode. We'll see you next time. Great dudes. Let's go.
Peace, y'all.
Great diggers.
Tell your mom.